Sold Out the Hive Chapter 11. Inside the octagon, the referee has announced the official start of the match. The white zombie still stood in place, not moving. The bald man began to clench his fists. There was a crackling sound. The bald man sneered and said, "Boy, do you think you can always win if you have a strong ability to resist blows? You Kai, that waste can't be compared to me." After that, the bald man rushed towards the white zombie with an arrow. He raised his huge fist and hit it directly at the neck of the white zombie. It was clear that he wanted to kill with one hit. The human neck has always been the most vulnerable part. This punch also hit the white zombie without accident. The white zombies were directly beaten to the ground. But the bald man did not spare the white zombies lying on the ground. Instead, it rode directly on the body of the white zombie. He began to deliver violent blows to various key points of his body. At the time of the first game, the bald man had already watched the whole game. In his opinion, the reason why Yu Kai was tired was lying down. It is because he did not hit the physical key of this horse serving the country. That's why I lost. As long as he keeps hitting the opponent's vital point, the immortal can't bear it. The audience below also screamed in unison at this moment. This violent picture constantly stimulates their hormones. Chen Feng watched calmly by the octagon cage. He still didn't let the white zombies shoot. Because once the white zombies shot, it is likely to infect the T-virus into the other person's body. The bald man fought for 10 minutes before stopping completely. He hit almost all the key points of the white zombie's body several times. The bald man stood up, and he danced his hands excitedly. However, the cheers of the audience below suddenly stopped. The bald man immediately looked back. The white zombie still stood up slowly. How is it possible? The bald man's eyes widened. He couldn't believe that the white zombie who had been hit by him so many physical points could still survive. Is this still human? The bald man's face showed a hideous look. He continued his frenzied attack on the white zombies. He in the octagon was already unilaterally crushed. But no matter how he fights, the white zombie can still stand up. In the octagon, as long as one side does not completely fall, then the game will not end. 10 minutes later, the bald man was completely exhausted and collapsed. He was completely untouched. He said helplessly, "I admit defeat." Hearing him admit defeat, the referee immediately took the stage to announce that the white zombie had won the match. The audience was dumbfounded. If Yu Kai loses the first time, forget it. And now this second time how this fighter fights, they are completely in the eyes. That's the key point of the move hitting the body. In this case, let alone ordinary people, even if the warrior has been hit so much. And they simply won't survive. And this treasure country did not just survive. There was also no howl of pain the whole time. It's kind of weird. The bald man glanced at the white zombie, and then saluted the white zombie. "Thank you for your mercy." After speaking, the bald man walked off the ring. This scene stunned the audience. They didn't understand why the bald man actually bowed to Ma Baoguo. But someone soon reacted. Could it be that this treasure country is a real master? The reason for not fighting back is that I am afraid that the game will end directly as soon as I make a move. Elgo, it's really possible that you said. It turned out to be playing a pig and eating a tiger. Why didn't I find out? The audience began to make up their brains. Walking down the ring, a bald man immediately breathed a sigh of relief when he heard the discussion of the audience. When he says this, he deliberately puts himself under the stairs. Otherwise, his face would be lost today. The host's voice came at this time. "Guys, the second round of the match has been played. It's half-time. The next game Baoguo players will face our VIA players. This match will definitely be very exciting. Please wait and see." After the host finished speaking, he came to the white zombie, and he said with a smile, "Baoguo player, you can go down and rest, and then start the third game after 20 points. The moderator's attitude was very polite. Whoever can make money for the ring, then he will be polite to whom. The newcomer in front of him has already won 2 games. The benefits to the ring are very large. However, the person who hosted said it for a long time, and the white zombie stood in place without any reaction at all. Chapter 11 Broken ribs all over the body, still moving. The host shouted in surprise, "This player?" The host also found out that he hadn't said a word since the white zombie came on stage. It's like a dumb. Even if he was beaten on the ground, he didn't react at all. At this time, Chen Feng came to the octagonal cage. After his arrival, the white zombies also came down from the octagon. Chen Feng looked at the host and said, "I'm sorry, my friend doesn't like to talk very much." Just now, Chen Feng is in the past and bet again. He still bet all his chips on white zombies to win this time. But this time, the odds are only 5 times. But this was also expected by Chen Feng. After all, the white zombies have won 2 games in a row. The stadium will definitely analyze the odds again. The host looked at Chen Feng and said, "Sir, our boss wants to sign your friend. I wonder if you want to." Chapter 1